In this comparative study, I will observe the different representations of Asian women in The World of Susie Wong, a 1960s film directed by Richard Keene, and Audition, a 1999 film directed by Takashi Miike. While both films have main characters who are Asian women, they have drastically different representations. More specifically, these portrayals can be seen through the dynamic relationship each woman has with her respective partner. By analyzing the role of the women through a cultural lens, one can observe the many ways that Asian women are perceived by the rest of society. In The World of Susie Wong, we follow Robert Lomax, who is an American seeking to begin his career as a painter in Hong Kong. He falls in love with a mysterious girl he meets on a ferry ride, following her into a nearby hotel. This woman's name is Susie Wong, and she works as a prostitute at a hotel that solicits white men from the bar next to them. Throughout the film, we follow the progression of their relationship as they struggle through both cultural and personal barriers. In Audition, we follow Aoyama, a widowed father. He has a friend that is a director that suggests he finds his new wife through an audition that he's running for a future movie. Looking through the potential actors, Aoyama is drawn to a woman, Asami. He meets this woman and falls in love with her, even though no one seems to know anything about her current or past life. After consummating their relationship, Asami disappears, and Aoyama desperately searches for any trace of her. He looks for any clues about her life and slowly uncovers some disturbing details about her possible past lives. Asami finally reappears, but she turns out to be nothing like the woman Aoyama thought she would be. Although Susie and Asami have opposite personalities, they both have qualities that are enticing to their partners, albeit these qualities are mostly surface-level qualitative observations. In The World of Susie Wong, Robert Lomax is attracted by Susie's mysterious demeanor as well as her seductive beauty. Likewise, in Audition, Aoyama is drawn to Asami's kind, gentle nature alongside her beauty. What strikes me is that both men are seemingly drawn to these women only for these qualities. According to feminist theory, the male gaze represents women through the desires of heterosexual male viewers. It depicts the female body and personality as an object for men to view, own, and conquer. The concept of the male gaze is prevalent in both films. In The World of Susie Wong, Susie wears a European-style dress to impress Robert. Despite her efforts, Robert finds this distasteful, telling her that she looks like a cheap European streetwalker, and proceeds to tear off her clothes.
Take that terrible dress off.
This expensive dress.
I don't care what it costs. You look like a cheap European streetwalker.
You shut up!
Now, just a minute. Why don't you put a ring in your nose, too?
Leave me alone. This fine dress costs $20. What you doing?
I'll show you.
You're just jealous of Ben and have him beat you up.
You know?
This fine expensive dress costs $20. Say what your English girl wear.
Yeah,
like
look
that
at
would
those
hurt.
horrible blue shoes.
They cost 84 Hong Kong dollars.
I don't care what they cost.
This action suggests Robert's possession over Susie's body and directly presents her body as an object for the man to own. In Audition, Aoyama describes Asami as beautiful, classy, and obedient. The concept of obedience is crucial to understand the role of women in Japanese society. In Japan, women were expected to be homemakers or mothers, and to live obediently under their male partner. This obedience reflects many of the ideas presented by the male gaze, as Asami becomes more of an object of desire to Aoyama. Regardless of the similarities shared between Asami and Susie, they ultimately diverge in their actions towards their treatment from their partner. Firstly, it is important to note that the screenwriter and director for The World of Susie Wong are not of Asian descent. Taking this into consideration, Susie's portrayal takes a more racially motivated turn. Because of the American influence from the director and screenwriter, I would categorize Susie as being represented as an Oriental woman. The Oriental woman is a fictive creation, an invention of the Western imagination made to justify sexual exploitation and dominance. The accent that Susie and the other woman at the hotel speak with is a highly dramatized version of a natural Chinese accent.
You like? Very pretty. It's me. Look. Oh, Gwenny. Oh, it's you, Gwenny. Look. You see this? Oh, yeah. It's letter of introduction. How do they say?
This is purposefully done to make it seem like they are naive and powerless since their English speaking is inferior and underdeveloped in comparison to the white men that visit them. The dynamic between Susie and Robert is one where Robert has the power to control and manipulate Susie without consequence. This leaves Susie in a vulnerable and helpless state, which is both romantically and sexually appealing to the Western man during the 1960s. It can be argued that Asami is portrayed as an Oriental woman from her shy and passive behavior. However, the Oriental concept is exploited for more Western audiences, and this film is primarily for Japanese ones. That being said, the portrayal of Asami is vastly different to that of Susie. There is a lot of mystery surrounding the identity of Asami, and it is difficult to find any connections to her current and past life. Throughout the film, we are slowly acquainted with Asami's past. She is sexually abused by her uncle and physically abused by her aunt. She grew up being forced to dance ballet for the pleasure of her uncle, and because of this, she holds a deep resentment for men who exploit women for their own gain. Eventually, Asami finds out about Aoyama's lingering love for his past wife alongside his fake audition scheme. Furious, Asami takes out her pent-up anger on Aoyama, just as she has done in the past to men who have wronged her. The way that Asami is portrayed in Audition contradicts the societal expectations placed upon Japanese women. This characterization is intentional, as Takashi Miike said in an interview. I suppose that film takes up the slack of what is not represented in society. Asami's character is meant to force the audience to question the placidity of Japanese society and to think critically about the effects of male dominance on the power dynamic within many Japanese relationships. Asami embodies the frustration the Japanese women had towards the little power they held in relationship and in society as a whole. Audition wants Japanese citizens to rethink women's societal roles by bringing attention to the extreme repression and subjugation of Japanese women's powers. Furthermore, Asian women have faced not only strict societal standards, but also exploitation and fetishization. Even though society perceives Asian women in a variety of ways, each way is equally as judgmental and makes it seem like women must conform to belong. This cycle of subjugation leaves women to feel frustrated yet powerless. Only when we reconsider Asia's societal and cultural power norms can we begin breaking down the walls to empower Asian women.